Wait a sec. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. All right, guys. Hello and welcome to MMA Underground, part of the Yankee and the Brit umbrella of shows. And you may notice that there is only one of us here in terms of the Yankee and the Brit, and it's me. That makes a change. That's Jay that's missing out. Very strange. He's unwell today, so best wishes to our friend Jay. I know why he's unwell, so I'm sure he'll be fine soon. Yeah. And also, we're here with the ever-present Buddy V.
What's up?
And we are scheduled to be joined by a guest today. Hopefully they'll show. But we like to go live with you guys, so we're just going to come live. This is the beauties of live television, as we call it here in the UK, and we'll see what happens as we go forward. But while we're waiting, let's talk some heavyweight boxing. I know it's MMA Underground, but let's talk some heavyweight boxing. Let's talk about Tyson Fury and Dillian White scheduled to fight on the 23rd of April. What do you think, Buddy V? You going to be staying up to watch that?
I'm excited to watch that. I can't wait. I don't know what everyone else watching here, but I feel like boxing is becoming a lot of pretty relevant, not just because one or two people or three, four, whatever's going on. You see a lot of crossover between boxing, MMA, people trying to mix it up, do this and that. And maybe it's because of the podcast we have. It's like even like some of the bare knuckle fighters or some of the other style of fighters coming from MMA backgrounds are going vice versa from that to putting on gloves, going to straight boxing, going to kickboxing. And so it really brings a light on these. And, big names too. Fury and White. I mean, two of the biggest names that you have in boxing right now, both championship holders. I mean, both with knockout power able to go down. But I mean, I'm not gonna go against Fury personally. Whatever I'm talking. I mean, I think he's gonna come out on top no matter what he's done, who his opponent has been. I mean, he's always came out on top, and I definitely have to stand right behind him. I mean, White's definitely gonna come in. He's got the power. I think he's gonna be hungry. He's going to be searching for that. He wants to be that one. He wants to be known to be the one to knock him out.
Yeah, and the thing is, I get all that. And Dillian White is a hungry fighter. He started growing at the same time as Anthony Joshua. They've always been beefing a lot of the time, but have never actually signed the papers in order to fight. Being a Brit, it's amazing to see the Brits at the top of the heavyweight boxing. As you were saying, boxing's kind of taking a back seat to MMA and the UFC and bare knuckle and all of that kind of stuff. But in the UK, I would still say that boxing is the premium here. And when you've got fighters like Fury, White, Joshua, then heavyweight boxing's always our game here in the UK, and we absolutely fucking love it. And for me personally, Dillian White isn't even in the same league as Tyson Fury. Like, this shouldn't be a fight. Like, this isn't the fight that, if Putin wasn't doing what Putin was doing, Fury would be fighting Us right now. He wouldn't be fighting Dillian White. That's not what would be happening. White would be fighting Joshua. Fury will be fighting just to unify the belts. But it should be a good fight anyway. White's been a lot more chilled out than he usually is in his press stuff as well. But I guess, is White better than Deontay Wilder?
Ooh. Because, I mean, he's got some good hits, but, I mean, he lost to when he fought Fury. Ooh. I don't know. Sorry, I've got to draw space right now.
Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? It's White has that hitting power and that, right, he's just going to go in, big barrel, try and knock Fury's fucking head off. Basically, that's what he's going to try and do. Does he have more hitting power than Deontay Wilder? But well, probably not. He's also shorter than Wilder, as athletic as Wilder in terms of like actually getting to him. And Fury danced around Wilder, and that's what I think he's going to Dillian White. And the only reason he went for 3 fights with Wilder is because he ended up as a fuck in the first fight anyway. Like, Fury's better than Wilder. Fury's better than Joshua probably, and he's better than it. Joshua on his day is the best fighter in that heavyweight division, I think, but he has 2 off days. And I think that's just my personal. I saw him in 12 in the London Olympics. I saw him get his gold medal and all that stuff. I feel like I'm on the ride with Joshua. I'm a bit biased as well. And I think it's just that kind of I think it's just that kind of thing where it's Fury's got to fight somebody to defend his belt, and that's why Dillian White's coming in. And I said it had been quiet and amicable, but about 4 hours ago, White's and Fury's team started trying to fight each other on the podium while they were doing a standoff. So they were trying to fight each other, but Fury and White actually separated that. They were like, no, we're not doing it here. And it was their teams trying to fight. That was very interesting. Whereas in previous fights, White would have been right up there trying to knock his fucking head off.
right in the action. You don't see that from fighters. Damn, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look that up. I want to see that. I always love when the cornermen get more into it sometimes too. Especially sometimes when you have certain boxers when they're in different ethnicities fighting each other. I see it a lot like some of the Hispanic communities too. When you have people, if you were to have like a Salvadorian and a Mexican fight, some of the cornermen they go at it more than the fighters. I'm like, ooh, that's crazy. Yeah, maybe. You think they'd have more composure?
It looked like they took issue with each other. Like White's corner and Fury corner looked like they took issue with it, whereas Fury and White are very chill out. Another big person that always seems to be in the news whenever we come up to fighting is fucking Jake Paul. And we're sick of talking about him, but he always shows up and he's always here. And he's talking about fighting Masvidal, and Masvidal's broken his silence on that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, buddy?
That one is a sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. That was interesting. Everyone wants him to address the issue of what happened on the street. And when you go and you check it out, he didn't really say a whole lot of anything about that. He addressed the fight itself, which, of course, it's like the whole Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. You go to the show, you expect Chris Rock to talk about it, and he doesn't. You're like, oh, come on, man. But he was saying how he definitely should have focused a lot more on his wrestling. It was like his Achilles heel. And so he said he was just really fucking irate, his words, about the whole decision, and he felt that he should have been able to do a lot more. He said that he's not going to be cocky about it, but he's not going to train as much boxing or kicking, but he has a couple camps he's going to be going to. I know a few different states he's going to be traveling to, and just doing just straight intense wrestling workouts, morning, noon, and night is what he said. He's supposed to be sharpening his tools and getting ready to come back bigger and stronger than ever, which would make him a very deadly weapon. I mean, that's like when you look at Nate Diaz, how he's lengthy, and some of the ways he could just do his good submission. It's just like shit. And he's got some striking too, so that's around fighting.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't such a Disney Channel annoying fuck, then Jake Paul would be quite a decent fighter to try and watch as well. But fuck that.
He was calling out Michael Bisping. Oh, sorry, what?
Our guest is here. Kai Stewart has arrived. Here he is, our bare knuckle friend, Kai Stewart. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How
What's
about
going
yourself?
On, bud?
Wonderful.
Yeah, good, man. Good. I don't know whether you're a boxing fan, but any thoughts on who you got between Fury and White coming up on the 23rd?
I just think Fury is going to dominate for a while, so that's kind of my opinion on boxing. I think he's one of the best to ever do it. So I think he's got a really good claim to run it for a while.
I just got a really interesting question. Thank you very much, JJ, for this. Who's better, Lennox Lewis in his prime or Tyson Fury now? I don't know. I just think with Fury doesn't know. Like Fury hasn't even extended to all of his powers. I think with Tyson Fury, like Tyson Fury, boxing almost feels like it's not the most important thing in his fucking life. So like, he's got other shit that he cares about more, which is almost how it should be. And I think that just shows how insanely good he is. But we're not here to talk about boxing with those padded gloves, I'd never get in a boxing room myself, but I imagine bare knuckle boxing compared to boxing with padded gloves is very, very different. Sex talks about some bare knuckle boxing, Kai. So, Buddy V's our fighting expert. He's been watching your fights over the thing, so I'm going to leave the questions up to him.
Yeah, I'm officially subscribed to the Bare Knuckle Fight Championships. Yeah, so I watched your fight with Jared Gates, and that was gonna be one of my questions: is having fought him in an MMA and coming out and then fighting him for your first fight in bare knuckle. Did you feel that it was gonna be a little bit more eyes on, considering that he might be looking for that win over you? Even though obviously,
there was a lot of talk from him after the fight because I took him down and I beat him up that way. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll fight him in bare knuckle. Let's do bare knuckle boxing and call her a day. And it went exactly as planned. I thought it was going to be pretty quick. And then because I just don't showcase my hands very much. I try to just, like, in MMA, you don't take damage if you wrestle. Like, if you're controlling the wrestling, what's going to happen?
Exactly. And I mean, you are a wrestler, and I feel like that really plays a part in your explosiveness and your will and your drive. And funny enough, I heard you talk about how you do not get tired compared to your other opponents. So, if you're dog tired, the other person is just exhausted 100%. And I feel like, do you keep your training pretty much similar while you're training for other MMA, bare knuckle, or whatever? Or do you try to switch it up and improve on whatever it is the weakness is?
Yeah, the end goal. Well, I'm still trying to be an All-American in college wrestling. So it's like I have a long way to go before I'm done with that. So I have to do it all. I can't just, like, bare knuckle is kind of like, you don't need cardio. It's the game of no cardio, to be honest. And like, if I ever go to a 5th round, there's nobody that'll hang with me in bare knuckle, just because I know they're not training their cardio. Like, they're just trying to get that first round knockout. That's what everybody trains for. So,
is there ever conflict between some of the fighting that you do and your wrestling in college?
I just don't fight during season. I'm completely, like, this year I had a knee surgery. There wasn't an injury. I just had to get a surgery on it, and I was out, so a lot of people said, "Oh, you're focusing more on fighting." No, I was laid up in my bed for 3 months. Like, so there's no conflict, and my coaches are very, very, very supportive of my career, and they want me to be the best human being I can possibly be, and if that's doing wrestling and fighting, they're gonna let me do it. So,
might as well.
So we've had a lot of bare knuckle. Yeah, we've had a lot of bare knuckle boxers on the show previously, like a couple, quite a few months ago now. And we always talk about the kind of courage that it takes to get in there and take the first bare knuckle fight. Like, we always talk about the kind of courage it takes to do street beefs and all of that kind of stuff. But your first bare knuckle fight, what was that like? Like, facing up to get into the ring?
So I've never been in a fist fight in my entire life. Like, I've never been in a street fight. I'm not about that. I don't know if it's because I was a wrestler and people just didn't want to fight me or what, but I've never been in a fight. So going to bare knuckle for me was crazy. It started as a publicity stunt. They have me 5th in the rankings right now, so I got to keep it going.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to win that title before I leave out. But that's the mentality I had in. I was like, well, here we go, because there's nothing you can do to prepare for that. You're literally there to bare knuckle box somebody, and it's kind of crazy.
So what do you mean by publicity? Like, what were you trying to get to do? Sorry, buddy. I think we're a bit off. Like, this is what happens when it's in the UK and the States. What do you mean by a publicity stunt? Like, what were you trying to get to do by starting this bare knuckle boxing, and now it's just turned into, I just want to fucking win?
The event was in my home state. And I was a high school state champion, 3-time state finalist, an MMA fighter that I'm in it for the publicity. I'm like, this is a business plan, and bare knuckle, what's a bigger stage than bare knuckle that I can just hop on because I'm in Montana and I sell a lot of tickets. And then it kind of turned into, I can really do something with this, especially the 145-pound division. I don't think there's anything special there, and I'm in it. I'm in it with every single one of those guys. So I'm going to try try to get to the top of this weight first. But that's what I meant by a publicity stunt. I was going to try to push my MMA career, make a bigger name for myself. But now I'm a bare knuckle boxer. So that's kind of the escalation that happened.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we have Jay ill on his couch. He's asking, would you fight bare knuckle MMA? He's asked us that in the
That's a
comment
cheat
section.
code. That's a cheat code. Come on, man. Like I'm confident in my wrestling, and I really believe that my wrestling is going to take me a long way, no matter whether it's in bare knuckle boxing, bare knuckle MMA, regular MMA, or whatever. But give me wrestling in bare knuckle, it just makes it that much better.
Right. So if you going with forward with bare knuckle, do you think you might ever return to MMA too, or do you think you want to pursue this?
Well, let's be real. There's not a lot of longevity in bare knuckle fighting. Like, it's pretty ruthless. There's a lot of things that can happen. I'm pretty dead set on making this title run, and then we're gonna reevaluate. But like I said, I'm a wrestler first. I'm a wrestler first, and would love to go back to MMA one day. But there's business to be taken care of first.
It's like a one at a time kind of thing. Don't switch too much between shit, like tick off the boxes. It's like when you get a to-do list, always tick off the first box before moving on to the fucking second one. Can't stand it when people try and do too many things at one time. That's what ruins my entire productivity when trying to do anything like this. And just to go, you've never been in a fist fight before going into bare knuckle. It's almost the first time you ate like a bare fist. Like,
that's crazy.
Here's the thing. He got me with one uppercut, and I don't even know if it landed with full power. Like, I was out of that fight very, very clean. And I think that's probably one of the reasons I'm still down to be doing this, because I haven't really been hit yet. And another thing going into this first one is, like, everybody always says, oh my gosh, you're so tough. And I believe I'm tough. But have I ever been in a fist fight? Have I ever proved that I'm tough? So I don't think there's a better way to prove you're tough than bare knuckle. Like,
right? That's the ultimate badass. Like, well, you can't top that.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And then,
I want one good fight where, I was in a fight, and if I keep beating people, I'm going to keep fighting. So.
Right. You might have to go see Josh Ryder, Tom Schultz. Woo, one day. I think it's crazy. Yeah, you were in and out. He had in the middle of the ring for a bit. You were just popping. I like to see that speed, that agility. I was gonna say, obviously, both fighting, bare knuckle, and whatnot, there's recovery time. With you being so young in your career right now, do you feel that that's almost like an advantage to your healing and everything else?
Yeah, if it wasn't for college wrestling season, I would have gotten back in the ring as quickly as possible. And it sucks that I had to wait all the way till April for them to come to Great Falls, but Great Falls is my hometown. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. I was probably ready to fight beginning of March, but we're going to fight in my hometown. And I absolutely think that's an advantage, because I also think I'm going to walk through my competition fairly easy, and we're going to be on to the next very, very quickly.
All right. I know your next opponent, he's 0-0. Have you had the chance to ever see any of his previous fights? Anything else?
So I saw the fight with Rusty Crowder. Rusty Crowder dominated him in like a minute. He's fast. He's explosive. He's one of those guys that thinks he can fight. And, all the respect for him, because he's stepping in there. Like, it pisses me off Brandon Lambert pulled out. That was supposed to be my fight. And I would love, and I still can't wait to knock that dude out. I will knock him out one day. There will be a day that I stand over top of him. But so this is who they sent over, and I would have been down to fight someone tougher, but I mean, it is what it is. And these guys are, it's bare knuckle. Anything can happen. Like, one little punch gets through and that could end a fight, especially me. I've never been hit before. Like, what if I get hit and I'm like, fuck that.
Right.
But yeah,
give me the gloves.
but yeah, I saw one of his bare knuckle. He had a bare knuckle MMA fight. Daniel Gary did, and like that was. He's lucky we're not going bare knuckle MMA, because I would have hurt him bad. I'm probably gonna. I am gonna hurt him in bare knuckle, but I think it's gonna be quicker. But in bare knuckle MMA, I would have just taken him down and made it fun. We would have been in that cage for a while. So
just pulling.
yeah.
What, were you about to say something before I interrupted earlier with my question?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you worry about, so this, it's very confident to go into a fight and say, yeah, I'm going to walk through my opposition, like straight away, like you are more experienced than your opposition as well. Do you feel like you worry about complacency a little bit if that's the attitude that you're going in with, or are you very focused?
I'm always definitely going to be one to eat my words. Like if Daniel Gary goes in there and whoops my ass, I'm gonna be like, damn, you whooped my ass, bro. Like I did not expect that. I didn't expect it. But I also, that comes from my training. I know how hard I train. I know how hard I work. So I shouldn't be less confident in this. And if I am, I'm probably doing the wrong thing. Cause you should truly believe you're going to walk through all your opponents. Otherwise, why are you in there?
Right.
Yeah, you don't walk in to get punched in the face. You don't want to get punched in the face. That's what you're trying to avoid.
And you guys were talking about my movement earlier, and like I can stand and bang, and if I choose to do that one day, I'll choose to do that. But all these people acting like tough guys, like stand in the middle and bang, bro. I'm like, fuck you. like obvious, like you don't want to do that in bare knuckle. MMA, boxing, yeah, I'll stand toe to toe all day, but it's all about winning. You get those punches, you get out, and you win the fight.
Right? Why are you gonna take unnecessary damage to play someone else's game? Nah.
Like Nate Diaz said, hit him with some good shit, don't get hit, and go home with a pocket full of cash. So I truly believe that. Truly believe that. Even though he don't really live by it, he's just like right here. Pop,
Right.
pop, pop.
They're getting all bloody.
Yeah.
So I like the name, the name Hefty Bag. You want to kind of tell us how you got that nickname?
My coach gave it to me, and I don't really know there's like 8 different reasons for it. So I just go with it, and it stuck, and people are buying merch from me for it. So I think it's a good little name it stuck. And it's all about getting something that people remember. And constantly people are like, hefty bag, hefty. So all that kind of stuff. So it kind of started out as like my very first MMA fight. I took it on 1 week's notice. I had never fought before, never trained, but I was a wrestler my whole life. So they're like, there's this 3-0 guy. Do you want to fight him? Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I lost split decision, but coach gave me a nickname Hefty Bag right before it, and it stuck.
I mean, it's got to fit because what? Like your few losses to MMA, all of them went to decision. None of them were knockouts, none of it all. So that says a lot. And yeah, you've had wins from ground and pound, TKO, and decision. I mean, I'm like, shit.
Hey, don't forget, I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu too. So I have 3 jiu-jitsu wins, and I want every blue belt needs to be on notice right now because I am here to stay.
Like all y'all are officially warned.
It's a perfect street beef's name, Buddy V, don't you think? Hefty Bag.
Hefty Bag.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Street beefs. Yeah, I've watched a lot of street beefs. I was always like, that could be fun. But now it's like I'm a sanctioned fighter, so that's how you lose a lot of like support.
Mm-hmm.
So
fair enough. Yeah, there's we've talked about in a few episodes where the controversy between some gyms are fully supportive of people, especially with COVID when it happened, going into street beefs, not being able to get fights. But then a lot of gyms were equally like, oh, no, you can't do that. That's terrible. Yada, yada, yada. It's illegal.
I would totally fight Brandon Lambert on a street beefs just so I could fuck him up.
Not a beef fight.
Did you guys just see his interview he just did with Captain Jack and the shirt he was wearing?
No.
Kai Stewart is my bitch. What?
Fuck me.
I'm like,
wow,
bro, you chose not to fight me.
Right. You're avoiding me like a punk.
You've got to back that shit up. You can't just come in and just be like, you can't just come in and say that shit and not back it up. To street beefs. Get it in the scrapyard, buddy. Sort it out. Yeah.
So that's a very interesting fight for Brandon Lambert, I think, because it's somebody that we don't know if he can actually stand up and fight, for one.
Yep.
So it's like, what if he wins? That'll set up a huge fight between him and I. Or since I was supposed to fight Brandon, I get that WWE star or whatever his name is. Like, come on now. You don't even know if he can fight, and we're giving him Brandon Lambert. Like, if Brandon Lambert wins, we'll never hear the end of it. We'll never hear the end of it. But if he wins, I get a chance to knock him out, I think. At least I feel, because he's calling out the 45-pound division. I'm ranked. He can come steal my number.
You're like, no, you got to step. There's a line, and I'm at the front. You got to come see me, buddy boy.
Yeah, for real. And that's just extra money and an extra win on my record, because he's not good. There's no way he's good. Come on. You can't find anything on him.
That's the way you do, right? So having stuff all over the internet, you're getting notoriety. What is it like? Like, do you ever feel like it's not necessarily changing you, but it feels awesome, or it's cool to be able to talk about or show off to your family that, you've been on the Damage Plan MMA podcast, Combat Kings TV. Now you're on the Yankee and the Brit MMA Underground. You're getting contacted from other people other than just fight organizations because you have this spotlight on you and you're doing work with it. I mean, how does that kind of make you feel?
I have a long way to go. I think I'm meant to be a showman, whether I'm bare knuckle fighting, MMA fighting, stand-up comedy, wink for maybe a hint in the future. I've mentioned it before, but it's like I want to entertain people, and I found my route. So I'm just focused on the task at hand because I have big goals, and it happens. My goals happen to be in the limelight. So it's like people are going to know a lot more about me before I'm done. So I don't let none of that change anything. I'm still, let's be real. I only have 2,400 followers on Instagram. Like, that's nothing in this world. So I want to get that bigger before I say anything on that.
Yeah. I mean, but to be fair, like a girl can start a profile, and all of a sudden she shows a little cleavage or something, a little booty, and like a day later she got 30,000. What the hell?
Maybe we should get you on our Instagram, buddy, showing a bit of cleavage, and then that'll get us.
Okay, I'm down.
Right.
Dude, we would kill for 2,400 followers on our Instagram right now. Me and Jay are terrible at Instagram. We absolutely fucking suck at it.
I will say it's super fun being from small town Montana. Everyone knows me. I can't go out without being stopped. So that's been super fun. But I'm looking for national and worldwide goals, and I appreciate my support from my community. So that's not what I'm trying to say. So I love it, but there's a lot bigger things in this world to accomplish.
Yeah, aren't you number one?
Sorry, buddy.
No, are you ranked number one in Montana for MMA?
Yeah, but not technically, not anymore. I was ranked amateur number one at 2 different weight classes in the West and in Montana. So, and that includes California too. So I was ahead of a lot of people in my AMA career. I went directly from an amateur fight to a pro fight. So I'm pro MMA now. I haven't taken my first pro MMA fight. That's going to come after I put time into it. I haven't put time into it, so I'm not ready. Yeah,
and that big fish, small pond kind of thing that you have in Montana, it's really easy to get to the, well, not really easy, but it's easier to get to the top of a small pond. But then to make that leap from the small pond into the bigger one is the real issue that you've kind of got to go through. And I imagine coming from Montana, it's a harder place to jump from, but you get that backing behind you that can then push you straight through into that. You'll always have that backing to fall back on in the times where it's getting hard as well. And I think that's something that's
and like my ticket. Whenever I walk out, if you guys are tuned into the BKFC fights, listen to that crowd. I promise you, it's going to be the loudest crowd of the night. And it says in how many tickets I sell. Whenever I fight on a card, people come out and watch. So, that's the best part about it, is because they're letting me fight in my hometown. That's a cheat code. Daniel Gary's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
It's over before it started. It's over before it's even started when you get shit like that. It's like when Conor McGregor fights, and obviously he's coming from the smaller pond of, like, sorry to everybody in Ireland, you fucking kick my ass. You kicked Wales' ass in the rugby as well. Fine, whatever. But a smaller pond from Ireland. He goes to the top of that. And if there's a country that support the shit out of anybody who's successful, it's from their country. It's the fucking Irish. They're insane about it, right? And you hear his crowd when they come out, and he always has that backing. And then that backing then draws interest from others because they're like, oh, what's this guy? What's this guy about? Like, what's going on? So some people might see it as a hindrance to come from Montana and have to come out, but it's actually a massive strength if you can use it in the right way.
Look at Sean O'Malley. He came from small town Helena, Montana, and look like he's huge. And he's doing it right. And love him or hate him, he's making money, and that's what matters. The money's what matters. So
if you continue to grow, and after you're done with college and stuff, would you want to stay in Montana to train, or would you ever try to locate to like a bigger city so where there's more tools available?
So we're gonna play that by ear because I also have a girlfriend that fights. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything because we're gonna be together. Cool. It's gonna be her and I for a long, long time. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things and not stepping and making those decisions. But if we're both ready to move, if we don't have the partners in Great Falls, then yeah. But if I get a BKFC title one day, that's gonna be a pretty big name. People are gonna want to train with me. So it's like, what if during my camp, what if I live in Montana, train, I'm here, we fly people out here and there, and then I maybe leave for a camp or fly people in for camps. So we're going to get something figured out, but I love Montana and everything. I'm so busy with college, it's hard to get everything rolling, but once the YouTube channel is up and going, people will see like how much there truly is to do and why Montana is like the cool place. Cause we're going to go fishing. I'm actually right after this podcast, I'm going to hop on I'm at my coach's house. And that's actually going to be the name of the YouTube channel, Coach's House. Cause we're all coaches as well. His boat is docked right outside of his house, and we're going to hop on the river and go and do some fishing.
It's beautiful Montana, right? Like it's beautiful Montana, right? For our viewers in the UK, then
yeah. So Great Falls is kind of in a spot. There's beautiful rivers, and like literally less than 25 miles to the west, we can get beautiful mountains. We're kind of in a high plains in Great Falls. So there's different types of beauty. Eastern Montana is like a desert-ish beauty, and then you have Western, which is world renowned for glaciers, mountains, waterfalls, and all that. So actually, on a TikTok ranking that had millions of likes and views, Montana was #1 beautiful state. So letting you guys know.
I was thinking. So I have a travel website and travel podcast and stuff as well. And I've been getting a lot of a lot of the people who I get in contact with about blogs and that kind of shit. It's all Montana. All the American ones are all like Montana. And then Oregon's like comes up all the time as well, and Alaska and those kind of places. And it's just that kind of shit is so beautiful.
Montana is amazing, and it's small. It's a great place to have a family. Like if I could make a successful enough career, because I'm reinvesting all my money. I'm going to try to open some form of dispensary or some sort of business. And dispensary is my first choice, but it's so expensive to do in Montana.
420.
But we're definitely I'm just going to try to stay here as long as I possibly can. But if my girlfriend wants to leave, got to do it. She can whoop my ass. So I'm good on that.
Oh, yeah, you're on the good side there.
That's what I was thinking when you said you have a girlfriend that fights. I was like, oh, shit, I hope she doesn't fight you. But
yeah, we spar from time to time. She did me dirty. She posted on Instagram a video of her just piecing me up. And her caption was like, sharing a dream with the person you're meant to be with, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, she whooped my ass. But she's a Muay Thai fighter. She's all stand up. So she always has to say takedowns.
I said I want to go over here. Bam!
For real.
That's cool though. That means whenever something happens in public, you could be like, dude, stop. Hey, don't, my girlfriend's gonna kick your ass. Okay, let me calm her down.
Yeah, for real. Like all those people like Brandon likes to try to bring her into it. I'm like, Brandon, she'd whoop your ass too. Like, like you can say what you want. Like she'll take care of herself and she'll whoop your ass. so
yeah.
Brandon's not good.
Right, we're gonna let you go to your get to your fishing, man. Enjoy Montana. We just have one observation from friend of the podcast, Daniel Castillo, where he says bare knuckle fighters have to be more accurate with their punches compared to traditional boxers. A boxing glove can cover more space and protect a person's hand if he hits the wrong body part. What do you make of that observation? Are you thinking, yeah, that's fucking bang on?
I agree, but I wouldn't say you should be hesitant, because if you're landing in the wrong parts with gloves on, you're not landing accurate punches. So it's like Israel Adesanya said it best. It's I don't throw and hope, I aim and I fire. So you should just want to be accurate in general. But I totally agree. Like if you elbows, break your knuckle, forehead, break your knuckle. So it's like you got to be extra careful in bare knuckle.
Yeah, and it might be a reason that Tyson Fury's so fucking accurate as well, because he did a lot of being the Gypsy King. He did a lot of bare knuckle fighting as a kid. And just last question from JJ. Oh, favorite catch of fish. What's your favorite fish to catch, man? What are you looking for when you go out to
So in Montana, I love hooking into walleye, but they're kind of hard. But catfish and sturgeon are our biggest ones. So I'm really trying to get after those. Those are always the best fight, and I'm always after the biggest fish.
All right. Yeah, I want to try catfish one day. I had it one time, and I think the guy overcooked it. I was eating like rubber. I was like,
yeah, well, if you would have just came to the Great Falls fight, I would have personally cooked you some.
Dang, heck
That's
yeah.
Imitation right there, man.
Right. I'm like, all right, I'm going to check how much tickets are. Do you have any social media you want to drop real quick?
Wait, what?
Do you have any social media you want to drop? I want to make sure I follow you too. I want to go back and look at it.
So I just started an athletes page, actually. Kai Hefty Bag Stewart on Facebook. That Facebook is my biggest one. Instagram Kai HB145. And then TikTok is the same one, Kai HB145. I post from there from time to time. Yeah, and real quick, I would like to say Native Grown and Sing Contracting, two of the best sponsors you could ever have. Native Grown, especially on 420. You got to give Native Grown that shout out on 420. Very, very happy for them. They're doing great, and they're helping me achieve my goals too. So that's that.
All right, great. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yep, thank you guys, and I, just tune into the fight. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I'll be watching. Hell yeah!
The link will be up on the Yankee and the Brit as well for our followers to see. Don't you fucking worry, pal.
Hell yeah! Right. Thank you guys. Talk to you later.
See you later, buds. Bye. All right, what an interview! What an interesting fucking guy! What a great dude!
That's dope.
Sorry, man.
I was gonna say, just so young too. I mean, for a lot of the things that he's accomplished already, I mean, you're talking people in their mid to late 20s. 21, 22? He's 21, I think. So,
yeah, I was like, oh, he's the same age as me, and then remembered that I'm mid-20s now at 24, not early. But never mind, it's cool. Not fucking bitter about it or anything. But yeah, when he said the stand-up comedy shit, like I was like, yeah, that makes fucking sense, man. You're an entertainer through and through. And talking about
entertainment, he'll knock out anyone that says shit to him.
Don't fucking heckle this dude. He will knock you the fuck out. And talking about entertainment, we're going to pass you over to our friend Cuzzo at Overtime Hustling.
What up, y'all? This your boy Cuzzo, host of the Chronicles podcast and also the host of Overtime Reactions. And let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all make sure to go check out Yankee and the Brit Sports Talk. Them guys are knowledgeable. They have good content. Go support them, man. Go check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and definitely tune in to MMA Underground Weekly, man, where they have guests, great commentary, let you know about upcoming events, promotional material, all that, man. Go check them out. Yankee and the Brit, what up? Salute from your boy Cuzzo. Holla.
Honestly, We need to change that. Jay, if you're still watching, I still think we need to make him redo it for his ad. Buddy V, we've been featured in the magazine as well. We're in it now as well. You were there. We're now in it. Oh,
the ad I was like, oh, Nicky in the bridge.
We're there, buddy. It's not me and Jay like kitted out in fight poses though. It's just a picture of our screen or something. I'm not sure.
Works for me. I mean, it was cool. I'll see it soon. I saw the digital copies. I ordered a couple physical copies that should be here hopefully before the end of the week. My fingers are crossed.
Yeah, I don't know if they ship to the UK. I was looking and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Never mind.
Well, maybe we'll just get like a collective box. We'll put like a magazine in there, a couple of well stuff here and there. Then one day we'll just ship you a box of like, here's 6 months worth of shit we were gonna send.
I'll just have to come over and then bring it back. That'll be the cheapest way to do it. I'll just have to meet Jay in Green Bay. When the Cowboys are playing Green Bay for the NFC divisional final, the NFC championship final this year, that's never going to happen. Never mind, eh?
I was like, hey, I'll show up. I'll come to Pittsburgh Steelers gear.
Now, some Street Beefs news. Jordan Harrington, first pro fight. Congratulations, man. Well done. First win in his first pro fight, Jordan Harrington. Friend of the podcast, Street Beef Scrapyard graduate. Generally just a fucking cool, great, and nice dude. Did you watch the fight, buddy?
Not all of it. I should have. I peeped through some of it. My kids weren't really letting me. But he was dominating. His performance that I saw, he was laid back too when he did. He executed with a lot of power. I was just blown away. And for his size, I'm just like, damn, are you really fighting at 155?
Yeah, man. He kicked that dude's fucking ass as well. It was a good fight, man. He's that guy's a fucking pro. Preacher's son, Shiloh as well. Shiloh as well out there doing a fucking great job. I mean, Preacher's son, in his pro fight as well. That gym is just nasty.
Oh, yeah, it was Bad Company, I think, right? Yeah, they were just murdering over them. And with those two, I know that there was also Guile, who ended up, I think, taking a kickboxing fight. And he won that, too, from the Street Beef Scrapyard. So I thought that was pretty dope. I don't know if it was pro, though. I don't think it was.
And it's pretty fucking mad how people are starting to make that. So we were just talking about how it's looked down on people making it one way. Like if you're a pro fighter going back down to fight unsanctioned fight in Street Beefs doesn't look good, but it looks fucking amazing for those guys that are using Street Beefs to get to their pro fights. It's so fucking impressive, man. Well done.
And it solidifies too, because I mean, for a while when some Street Beef guys started trying to go pro, they'd be like, "Oh, look at this." Now you have so many people that are using it, like you said, as a stepping stone. You're no longer talking about just bums and Joe Blows off the street. You're talking about people who are actually training, getting that work in. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, will I be able to do this? Well, is MMA or is boxing, Thai boxing, whatever you want to pick, is this something that I will actually be able to do? Well, I may as well just give it a try in the cage, do a little bit of training, give it a try in the cage one time, see where it goes, see what happens. And then you realize they get the fucking taste for it, as you know, buddy. You've got the taste for it more than anybody I know.
Yeah.
You just fucking go in there, and that's just something that you love to do. I'm talking about some pro fighting, some interesting news coming out of the UFC about Leon Edwards being asked to step aside so that Conor McGregor can fight Kamaru Usman. Being offered a big deal, and it hasn't been said whether he's taken that yet.
I feel like if he gets get paid a good chunk to step aside, why not? When you think about a lot of these promotions too, it's kind of like when the whole Masvidal Covington beef fight came out. They're looking for things they're going to sell. What's going to be a top fight? What's going to put money in his pocket? And I mean, if you really did step back and you let McGregor and Usman fight, I mean, those are two names that people are going to want to see. And I mean, we've talked about McGregor recently, some of the trouble he's been in, this and that. So he's in the news, not necessarily always for something great. So that will generate way more views. So money-wise, it seems like a much smarter move for the UFC to do. I I don't know though. I mean, I feel like Usman might come take it though. Conor McGregor, I like him. He's got his speed, he's got his stuff, but I just feel like he's not where he once was. He's not peaked out. Yeah, you know, it's when you're lean, you're a little bit faster. I know he's bulked up, and it's just, I don't know.
Have you seen his change in body? He looks completely fucking different, man. Like,
yeah, some of that.
He doesn't look
I
the
don't
same
know.
weight
Some of
class
that
as
was
the
all
last
natural,
time I
man.
saw him. Yeah, I mean, Connor, just walk off into the sunset. You're making however ridiculous. Sometimes you just think like, let's remember Conor McGregor for just being absolutely insane. A guy who basically made the UFC what it is today. Let's remember him as that. Let's not stop trying to rehash it, man. Go off, sell your tequila, buy NFTs, all of that kind of shit. Like, and just be a rich fucking dude. Like, you don't need to fight anymore. You've made it. Like, that's his entire thing. His entire thing was about fucking making it, and he's now made it.
If you're a fighter to that degree and you love fighting that much, then it would have been more relevant because that's what you would have been doing. But like I said, he's got his hand in so many other things that he's doing. He's trying to make it. So you made it. Enjoy it. You want to go fight? Go fight back in Bellator or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like you've clearly enjoyed it. That's why your body looks so fucking different. So why are you trying to come back now? Unless he's trying to bulk up, I don't know. I don't know. It's not the same thing as when Fury left, bloomed up, and then came back to it. Because I don't think Fury was ever done with it. That was a lot of mental health shit. Whereas Conor seems to have gone, enjoyed his money, and then is trying to get one final thing in it. It's just like after that Floyd Mayweather fight, that should have been it. Like, just fucking walk off into the distance then, pal.
And I'll say, there's a couple people like MMA. They have the two fighters. One's active, one's not. For spacing on their names, I don't know why. I watched them a handful of times. But he even said, why are you going to fight if you're not trying to be a champion? He's like, I retired after a certain age because I wanted to fight. But if you're fighting, you want to fight for the championship. And if you know that your body's going to take a certain amount of damage, a certain amount of time to heal, you're not going to be able to do this. I mean, you have to take it into consideration in these kind of sports because combat sports are no joke. You don't play fighting. You don't play boxing. These are sports where you can seriously damage your body for long periods of time. And there comes a point where you just have to accept it. I'm not saying don't train, don't go get it in, whatever, hard sparring matches and whatnot. But to try to do it at the level you once did it at, you'll never be at what you once were. So just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, and if you do want that final fight, Conor McGregor, if you're watching, don't know why the fuck you would be, but if you want that final fight, let's make it something fun. Let's have a fun fight. Let's not like Usman. Like, let's stop this shit of trying to go for the title. You've done it. You've completed everything that you want to do. Let's see him fight Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Let's see him do that. I want those two. That's what we want to see. If you're gonna fight,
I think that might sell out a little bit more than him versus Usman. If he fought Paddy the Baddy, I think the hype with Paddy's so high right now, and everyone just wants to see that fight happen.
Stick that fight in fucking Anfield Football Stadium and just go for it, because that would be fucking brilliant. Like, that would be so fun to watch. Whatever UFC that'll be, stick it in Anfield and then go from there. That'd be so good. That'd be so good. But yeah, that's not the fight that I think is going to happen. Some fighters that we do want to hear about is Buddy V's fighters to watch.
Buddy V's fighters to watch.
All right. So I like to switch it up. Sometimes I pick multiple, sometimes I pick one or groups. So I have one, and this guy's going to be, last one was Akuma from the OG Yard. He's on a 3-win streak. He's really good killer. So this week I'm sticking to local and home because this Saturday's scrapyard fights is Q-Tip. Now, I was going through some fighters. I was looking at different fights, and I would pick someone from West Coast, but I'll keep it for next one. Next week is West Coast, 30 South. Q-Tip was picked because he just had his fight released from the West Coast where he fought Silverback. He had a very dominating performance. He ended up having the round stopped. I forgot which round, but he ended up landing, I think, a heavy body shot that ended up curling him up and he ended up getting a standing 8 count. Silverback did, and Q-Tip won. He said he's down to fight, go to anybody's yard, whatever, and I've seen the improvement. The most exciting thing about this man is he's not even from America. He fights from Canada. So this guy's traveled down, 100% legit Canadian, coming down to fight. He's fought Turtle, who's on the Hall of Fame. He fought Hummingbird, who's a USA national boxer now. He fought Shrugs, who's one of the better boxers that we've had in the yard for a while, and who was really powerful punch. And he's held his own against all of them. I mean, he didn't win all of them, no, but to be able to face opponents that have that level of skill, you obviously have to have your own set. So I feel like I seen him grow, and when he fought Silverback, he was able to display the growth that he has had and the hunger he's had, and I think he's about to start coming out and laying some serious damage.
Yeah, also, there's nothing more satisfying than a TKO from a punch to the body. Like that, I'm sorry, but like a spinning kick to the head, sick, obviously, really cool. But being able to fucking TKO somebody by punching them to the stomach, like imagine how hard that bat's got to be. It's pretty intense, and if you can punch that hard, you're gonna win a lot of fights.
Right, just win somebody right to the body. I was surprised. What was it? Ryan Garcia, his last opponent. He didn't get him with a body shot. I was kind of hoping he was going to come back and do something like that, follow in the footsteps and just. But I know that he hasn't really been training a whole lot with Canelo, and they had their separation and they're doing their thing now. So I don't know if he's changing up his style a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we're boxing, MMA, back and forth, talk about it, heavyweight.
It's fucking great, man. We've been all over the place in this show, and I think this is a good time to come to an end to it. It's been an absolute pleasure. What a good show. Thank you very much, Kai Stewart, for showing up. Talk to us a little bit about Zuel, buddy.
So Zuel, so whatever the fuck you want. Hard work, great determination. You know, the website is zuel-world.com. My YouTube 253 Buddy V. And my Instagram is _Buddy V. It's all just doing whatever it is that you love. My series is out right now where I interview different local people, because that's part of what it is, just doing my brand locally, growing. And I've had my feature in Overtime Hustling magazine. Shout out to you guys. So you can pick up a copy, check that out. You saw the Yankee and the Brit was in the Overtime Hustling, so check them out too. Shout out to Scrapyard. We have an event this weekend. And shout out to anybody else who's watching, because Zuel is going to be coming out with some new shit, so check it out. And you won't want to miss what we have in store.
Yeah. Just go check out Zuel. Check out all the Yankee and the Brit stuff. It's all on the bottom. Yeah, we've basically got a show every day for you guys now. That's the point that we're getting to. And I am, and I know Jay definitely is, so thankful to all of you guys who support our channel and like us on YouTube, Facebook, all of that kind of stuff. We really, really appreciate it. When me and Jay started this about a year and a bit ago, we never could have dreamt that I would have got this far this quickly. So thank you so much to all of you guys. And our best show at the minute, apart from the ones that Buddy V is on, obviously, is Well Beyond the Arc, in my personal opinion. Well Beyond the Arc is awesome. And it's basketball playoff times, guys. So go check out Well Beyond the Arc. Go check them out on YouTube. Also, the Marked Out podcast with Mustache is just fucking hilarious. WWE chat. So go check that out. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you. Cheerio.
Peace out.